Hey, what's going on, everybody? Andrew Dawson here. Another quick devotion this week for the channel. I was reading in Matthew chapter 25 today, and I've been doing this study, looking through the scriptures, finding those scriptures that deal with justice and connect to human trafficking, because that's our mission as missionaries in this field, is to go after the vulnerable, to provide justice and hope for those who are oppressed. And while the word and term human trafficking isn't mentioned in the Bible, there's still a lot of great scriptures that point us in that direction. And in Matthew chapter 25, verses 35 through 36, this section of scripture is talking about extending compassion and hospitality to those in need. I want to read it for you today in this devotion. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. Man, when I read this scripture, I think about the vulnerabilities of those individuals who are in high-risk communities, in neighborhoods all across America, who are literally at a point of exploitation where they're so desperate to pay the rent. They're so desperate to put another meal on the table. They're maybe homeless and looking for a place to sleep. The scripture even mentions clothing, where there are so many times in the outreaches that we do with Operation for Freedom, we simply provide these tangible things that eliminate vulnerability, because vulnerability leads to trafficking. That's what this verse is talking about today, is eliminating those vulnerabilities. It's not the same thing as, being a special operator and on an investigation, kicking in a door, going into the jungle like we see on movies. Something as simple as something to eat and rent assistance and helping an individual out of a highly vulnerable situation can make an impact for eternity. Man, I think there's so many souls that are just one tangible gift away from eternity with Jesus, because all it takes is someone willing to be the hands and feet of Jesus and to do what this scripture says. So here's your action questions that will inspire you and challenge you today. So I got 3 of them. Number 1 is this: how can I extend compassion and hospitality to survivors of human trafficking in my community? Have you asked yourself that question? Have you even looked into it? Number 2 is this: have I considered the specific needs of vulnerable people in my community or trafficking victims, such as safe housing, counseling, and support? And number 3 is this: what steps can I take to ensure that survivors feel welcomed, loved, and cared for as they rebuild their lives? Now, I don't know if you're connected or not, if you're an advocate or working in this field, but number 3 is huge. What can I take to survivors and ensure that survivors feel welcomed, loved, and cared for? Man, we have a responsibility to go after those who are hurting and broken in our world. That's my devotion for myself this week, and I hope it inspires you. I hope it challenges your faith. I hope your faith is built, and you go out and begin to live out, not just read, but live out Matthew chapter 25 today.